Quercus marilandica is the blackjack oak. This is in the red oak group. You will find these all over central Oklahoma in association with the post oak in a plant community that is referred to as the cross timbers. It's kind of like a transition zone between the grasslands and the true kind of larger tree forests. Not quite as big as some of the larger oaks, and it grows, fairly slow to moderate. This is an extremely tough plant. Some people refer to it as scrub oak. It's kind of shrubby. It's not really super tall. 50 foot high is going to be a really old plant in really probably more of the eastern range. Like the other oaks, it has an alternate and simple leaf. This leaf is very kind of leathery, almost like stiff leather, like leather that's dried out. It will kind of almost crack if you try and bend it. It has basically 3 lobes. Some people call this a duck foot, some people call it a club or a paddle, but at the end of each of these lobes, sometimes a couple more extra there's a stiff bristle, which is typical of the red oak group. The fall color on this plant is sort of a red-orange in really great years where there's been a lot of moisture at the right time, and sometimes just kind of a dull reddish brown. The stem on the blackjack oak is just kind of grayish brown and stiff. The buds, like the other oaks, has a cluster of buds at the terminal end of the stem. The bark on this is very, very dark gray, almost black, kind of rough and furrowed. The stems, the branches that die out along the life of the plant in the canopy of this tree do not sort of self-prune. A lot of plants, if they have a dead branch, they'll go ahead and drop those branches along the way. The blackjack oak doesn't. It will hold on. The wood is so tough and durable and resistant to wind and ice breakage that the dead limbs just sort of stay on the plant, which really is kind of an ornamental drawback to the plant. The flower is the same as the other oak species, the male catkin, and then the female small flowers on the stem. Produces a small acorn where the cap kind of almost encloses about half of it. This is an extremely tough plant, and probably not planted a lot because there are other oaks that may be better in a landscape, landscape installation. But when you have one, they're good to keep.